I've been getting a lot of emails lately, guys, and I'm sorry, I apologize. I can't respond to them all. And in fact, instead of responding to these emails, which is taking too much of my time, I'm going to just share with you an answer to your questions. A lot of people email me, which EV should I buy? Which EV, is it good for Australian roads? Is it good for American roads? Is it, what would you recommend? Would you buy it? And there's lots of questions. I'm sorry, I don't want to offend you because I just don't physically have the time to do it. As you guys know, my wife has cancer, so I am the primary carer for my boys, Jack and Cal, 8 and 11 years old. And working full time and doing that, it is challenging. Trying to keep fit and healthy as well so that I stay alive for my boys. That's really important. Get enough sleep. I don't do that. I've got to make a change. I've got to do something different. I've got to, be more disciplined so I can, not look like I'm exhausted all the time. Here's the answer. The 4 EVs I personally recommend you buy right now here in Australia. Now, 2 of these EVs you can't get right now, but yes, you will be able to get them within the next 6 to 8 weeks. So I think that's still relevant. Here's my 4 EVs. Now, these 4 cover 4 different market segments. You're talking more expensive models. Now, I do not recommend, personally, I don't recommend any super luxury cars at all. I think that they're not good value when it comes to electric cars. But these are the top 4. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Yeah, guys, I research this stuff every day and I love it. It's fantastic. These 4 EVs will be different next time. Next time I do this, I'm going to make this a series. In 6 months' time from now, these will probably be different. But right now, the best value, small, affordable electric car, in my opinion, is the BYD Dolphin. So that's not first place. This is not in order of which one you should buy first. This is in 4 segments. When it comes to an affordable EV, it's the BYD Dolphin. The price of the Dolphin was recently reduced. Now, I don't recommend the short-range Dolphin. I think it's underpowered and that would affect your driving experience. I think that you might go, no, I'm going to save the money, buy the underpowered version. Doesn't bother me, doesn't matter to me. Then when you drive it in real life, you'll go, actually, yeah, I don't like having 70 kilowatts of power. 70 kilowatts of power is what you had in cars 20 years ago. That's not good enough. The cheapest version of the Dolphin is not good enough. The range is not good enough. The power is not good enough. But the premium version of the Dolphin, that's a different story. Excellent range. We're talking, probably real world 450 kilometers of range from that car. Plenty of power. It's got good features. It's got reliability. BYD vehicles are reliable. Yes, their warranty's a bit dodgy in Australia, but the truth is that they'll cover you. I'm pretty sure. I'm confident they will. And I'm confident the battery will last a long time. It's excellent value. I'm not so confident in the MG4. I'm not so confident, to be honest, in MG vehicles at all. I've read too many negative things about MG, about various brands, LDV, etc. Too many negative things. Yes, every brand has their negatives, but there's just too many quality control issues, in my opinion, with the MG4. So I highly recommend, if you're considering an affordable vehicle, whether that's a Great Wall Motors Aura, BYD Dolphin, or the MG4, I think the model to go for is the Dolphin Long Range, or the premium version of the Dolphin. Number 2, when it comes to sedans, I'm not a huge fan of sedans. I think they're not that practical, but a lot of people don't have kids and families, and they don't need something where practicality is their primary thing. They just want something that is essentially the best means of transportation for them without, taking things around with them. That's when I understand they buy a sedan. Now, you can, of course, buy the BYD Seal. That's a good vehicle. Or although the new version, the range is shorter now. It's got a smaller battery pack. Weird that they made the range shorter. And really quite disappointing, in fact, that they didn't use the new Blade Battery 2.0. So smaller battery pack, still the same battery. I don't recommend the Seal for that reason. I'm a bit disappointed by that. The new version of the Seal anyway. I think next year you'll find that the new version, there'll be an upgraded version of the Seal probably in about a year from now. It will have the BYD Blade Battery version 2 batteries. So the more energy dense battery, but until that happens, I wouldn't be buying it. I recommend the Tesla Model 3 long range or the standard range. Now, obviously, which one you get depends on your needs. Do you need more range? Do you need faster charging? You get the long range. If those things aren't a priority, if price is more of a priority, then you get the standard range Model 3, which comes with a lithium iron phosphate battery. And it's a similar battery to BYD's Blade battery. CATL LFP battery. All right, that's the mid-spec sedan. What about in terms of luxury car? Well, honestly, guys, I know a lot of people are going to think this is silly, but I actually think the Zeekr X is a luxury car. Driving in it, it's a little bit nicer than the Volvo EX30. It's a little bit bigger, and it's slightly cheaper from what I've been hearing from Zeekr, around maybe $55,000 to $60,000 for the Zeekr X. That's the vehicle that I recommend. That's a small electric SUV. It's about the same size as a BYD Atto 3. I think it's worth paying the extra versus the Atto 3. It's less than $10,000 more expensive than the Atto 3, but in my opinion, it's significantly better. It's got a lot more power. It's definitely a much, much nicer place to be in terms of the interior of that car. I'm a big fan of the Zeekr X, and in terms of luxury cars, I actually think that's a legitimate luxury car. Driving in them, experiencing it, for me personally, I am a big fan, and that is why I plan on getting one. Speaking of planning on getting one, I also want to get the Xpeng G6. Now, may place an order potentially. This is the other segment. This is my fourth EV that I recommend to you in Australia. The G6 will cost under $60,000 for the long range version with 570 kilometers of range and approximately 300 kilowatt fast charging. Everything's standard. There are no options on this car. I mean, it's an amazing deal considering everything's standard. It comes with really impressive software. It's the same exact size as a Tesla Model Y. It has a slightly smaller boot than the Model Y, but it has more space for the rear occupants, the people sitting in the rear seats. I think it's a much better deal than the Model Y. Now, this may change next year when the Juniper comes out, but at this point in time, this is probably the best value. If you want a family car, then the Xpeng G6 is just sensational value. The software works. The ability to use the app to get the car to park itself. If you don't want to park it, let's say you're trying to get into a really narrow parking spot's tricky, it'll do it for you. It'll basically put all the different parking spots on a map in front of you, and you can pick which one you want it to drive into. Whether you're in the car or whether you're out of the car, you can do it. That's really alongside a lot of other features that this car has. It has 18 speaker sound system. It has things like a structural battery pack with 2 gigacastings on either side of the vehicle, which increases the structural rigidity and the safety of the vehicle. Now, the Zeekr X also has similar. It has a structural battery pack as well. The Zeekr X is also exceptionally safe. In fact, all of these cars are exceptionally safe. I would say the Model 3, the Zeekr X, and the Xpeng G6 are 3 of the safest cars that you can buy in the world. Incredibly good value when you think about it. You're paying what is real bargain prices for cars that are very safe. Now, the question is this. These 4 cars, they're in different markets, right? You've got a sedan, you've got a small luxury kind of crossover SUV, you've got a mid-sized SUV family car, and then you've got the budget vehicle, the BYD Dolphin. Are these cars, are they good in the Australian roads, Australian climate, market, etc.? Absolutely, all of them are. A lot of people think, but what about things like service and warranty repairs, and etc. Well, the whole point, guys, of having an EV is you shouldn't need to service it. Here's what Zeekr is saying. Zeekr is saying you only need to service it once every 2 years. Once every 2 years, right? So really, when you go and get your service plan, and I'm not going to name names here, but you guys know who I'm talking about. You buy your new EV and they're like, well, actually, you're going to be paying $500 for this service, and your next service is going to be $600, and your third service is going to be $2,000. And you look at it and you look at them in the face and you think, $2,000? What exactly are you doing? Oh, well, we're going to change the oil. I mean, no, not change the oil. We're going to we'll replace some filters. And guys, the whole point of an EV, you shouldn't need to be doing all this excessive servicing. You don't. I mean, Tesla doesn't require you to service your car at all. Now, does that mean you shouldn't be replacing your tires, having your brakes checked, getting your car checked over to make sure everything's okay? Absolutely not. That's a different thing. But when I think of a service, guys, I think of things that need to be changed in your car, need to be fixed. And if those things aren't changed, if you don't have your oil changed, then it wrecks your car, right? A lot of modern cars with turbos, they will burn through oil and you don't realize it. You actually got very little oil in your engine. You don't get that oil replaced in your car. Then guess what? Your car's going to be wrecked. Fortunately, with an EV, that isn't necessary. If you didn't service any one of these 4 EVs for the next 20 years, you might have some minor issues, but you're probably not going to have any major issues. It's very unlikely. The battery packs in all 4 of these cars will give you, in my opinion, will last more than 500,000 kilometers. 99% chance all of them will last more than 500,000 kilometers. Batteries are amazing these days. They're incredible. Each one of these battery packs is very, very good. There's only minor discrepancies between them. Yes, the most efficient car here is the Tesla Model 3. How much does that really matter? The efficiency of all of these cars is good. Obviously, the efficiency of the Model 3 is excellent, but there's other advantages to the other cars. They're more affordable. You might get things like longer range, or the price might be cheaper. Any of these will suit you, and really it depends on what your personal needs are. Is price an issue? Get the Dolphin. Do you need a vehicle that doesn't need to tow anything? You just want to do driving all the day. You want the most efficient car. You want the ability to charge your car easily all the time because you're driving it all the time. Maybe you're a sales rep. Model 3 would be right for you. You've got a family. You need to put bikes in the car. X-Plane G6 is the right car for you. But then, if you want a bit more luxury, maybe there's two of you, maybe you're a couple. You don't have a family, but you do want to have a boot, like more of a hatchback style car, but you want a bit of extra luxury, then the Zeekr. The Zeekr is going to be the right car for you, the Zeekr X. So all of them really are great cars, and I don't think you can go wrong buying any of those four. Thanks for watching.